Music industry has been one of the most important business, but since the past years, it has experienced an important decreasement in its growth. Customers were not very interested in buying CDs anymore. Online music gave a little bit of life to the industry, but it did not succeed that much. In recent times, streaming platforms have introduced a new business model which seems to be working pretty good. Even so, streaming may sound like a modern concept, it has been around since 1993 when the rock band Severed Tire Damage transmits a concert live for the first time ever. Later on, streaming would be used to commercialize games, videos, movies, TV series, and music. Around 2012, Spotify and Apple gave to the music industry a boom, since the streaming has become one of the main aspects of the industry, surpassing downloads and physical music representing around 60% of the revenue.
The ARPU, average revenue per user, in the music streaming industry in Mexico is projected to reach $9 by the end of the year. The demand of streaming is continuing to grow every year as more users get used to pay a fixed amount of money per month and have any number of songs available without rising their cost drastically. In that framework, we can predict that the ARPU at the end of this year can rise in a small percentage without hurting the market. What will happen with streaming demand? It will continue to rise due to the comfort offered to the customer and the added value of the streaming platforms. Most of the artists have found more profitable if they allow streaming platforms to upload their songs. That being said, if the input prices for streaming platforms don't rise, which they are unlikely to, the supply of this service won't be affected.
With these predictions, the sector that will benefit with the streaming companies, and the harmer sector will be the clients that have lower purchasing power since it will be more difficult for them to maintain a subscription. The difficult part is the remuneration of artists by the streaming companies, since the royalties granted are not fair. And due to this situation, some artists choose not to upload their musical material to these platforms. Economically speaking, we can say that the panorama is favorable for streaming companies, since the trend tells us that the streaming will be consumed by more people. It means there will be a higher demand and the price will be paid. The repercussion that will exist in the Mexican economy is that the members of the economically stable sector will be able to consume streaming services for long periods, supporting in this way the artistic sector of the country.
The tendency for the streaming prices is to increase. These services continue to be relevant in music business, and it seems that they are just getting started. Talking about the repercussion of streaming in Mexico, we can say that only in 2017, music streaming represented 87% of all digital sales, which reached $94 million of the total revenues obtained that were of $137 million. These numbers represented an increase of 7.9% compared to the profits of 2016. As the market evolved, so does the industries. So maybe we are reaching a point where CDs and vinyls are just decorative artifacts, and the future relies on a more digital offer.